Well, the author presents two main explanations here. The first is that the transition from discrimination to equality is an inevitable process. The equality between humans and animals must undergo this same inevitable progression. Human societies throughout history have been filled with various inequalities and discrimination. In slave societies, for example, slaves were placed at the bottom of society, subjected to exploitation and prejudice. Aristotle even defended slavery, believing such exploitation was justified in his time. In modern times, institutional inequalities faded, but racial and gender discrimination persisted. Today, we see gradual reduction of racial and gender discrimination. Through liberation movements, people came to deeply understand the ethical concept of inherent equality. Both in action and ideology, power centrism, white centrism, male centrism, and other once ethically accepted ideologies have been overturned, replaced by egalitarian concepts. Thus, the author argues anthropocentrism will similarly decline, replaced by human-animal equality. Crucially, while discriminated groups like slaves, POC, and women could advocate for themselves, animals remain voiceless dependents requiring human allies. Therefore, animal liberation, while inevitable, will be an arduous journey according to the author. The second key understanding: any life form capable of suffering deserves moral consideration. Modern biology shows animals share similar nervous systems with humans. This means they experience pain through neural pathways just like we do. If a being can suffer, we have no moral grounds to ignore their pain. On this basis, animals should be morally equated with humans. The author posits sentience as the only moral boundary, the sufficient condition for ethical consideration. We needn't extend morality to plants or stones lacking sentience, but must care for feeling animals. So you see, IQ shouldn't determine rights between humans, nor should it determine rights between humans and animals. We must extend liberty, equality, and fraternity to animals. Now that we've covered the what and why of animal liberation, let's discuss how to achieve it according to the author. The author's answer is straightforward. Practically, abandon animal testing and adopt vegetarianism. Ideologically, reject anthropocentrism and speciesism. First action: abandon animal experimentation. While some animal testing may advance technology or improve human health, this doesn't morally justify animal suffering. Technological progress doesn't require animal testing. Consider human cell or tissue testing or advanced computer modeling. These modern methods are cost-effective and yield more accurate results. Second action: vegetarianism forms the foundation of animal liberation. Though this transition isn't easy, when vegetarianism comes up, people often ask, can plant-based diets provide proper nutrition? You really don't need to worry about that. Our hominid ancestors primarily ate wild fruits. Humans evolved into omnivores gradually. All 6 essential nutrients can be obtained from plants: carbs, fats, proteins, vitamins, water, and minerals. Historical vegetarians like Pythagoras, Einstein, and Tagore not stayed healthy but achieved greatness. But if everyone went vegetarian, would we have enough food? Absolutely. Industrial animal farming is actually wasteful. Producing 1 kilogram of beef protein requires 21 kilograms of plant protein. Direct plant consumption could better address global food shortages. After addressing these concerns, some might ask, how exactly should we practice vegetarianism? So where exactly do we draw the line with vegetarianism? Even among vegetarians, definitions vary, though meat avoidance is universal. But debates arise regarding eggs and dairy consumption. As discussed, industrial egg or milk production violates hens and cows' rights, causing immense suffering. Thus, the author excludes eggs and dairy from true vegetarianism. The author's criteria: whether consumption causes suffering to sentient beings. For instance, the author avoids shrimp but eats oysters. Current research suggests oysters and simpler organisms lack advanced nervous systems to feel pain. Some listeners might protest. Going vegetarian overnight is impossible. Sudden dietary changes challenge both willpower and physiology. Therefore, the author suggests gradual transition methods. First, replace some meat with plant-based proteins. Increase staple foods containing proteins or fats as meat substitutes. Second, choose free-range eggs over factory-farmed ones. Third, substitute dairy with soy products, but allow occasional dairy-containing foods. Vegetarianism fosters new human-nature relationships, but full liberation requires mindset shifts. Key point 1. Raise awareness about animal suffering through activism. Many feel compassion for pets or endangered species, but remain unaware of farmed animals' plights. Key point 2. Shape children's understanding of animals early. Animal perceptions form in childhood. Research shows some children resist meat initially. It's mistakenly push meat consumption, believing it's nutritionally essential. Moreover, childhood fairy tales often portray wolves and foxes as cunning villains meeting extermination. Early exposure to such animal hostility makes discrimination easier in adulthood. The third challenge, abandoning human supremacy assumptions. What's human supremacy? Human history is speciesist, dominated by animal conquest ideologies. Ancient Romans believed arena beasts deserved conquest or death. Descartes viewed animals as machines for human control. Modern lab or farm practices reflect this anthropocentric worldview of human dominion. As established earlier, sentience creates moral equality between humans and animals. You might find the author's vegan or anti-testing proposals radical. Debates about animal liberation persist. Questions remain. How to manage animal overpopulation? Why restrict humans when animals eat each other? Yet progress exists, animal welfare improvements through growing awareness. Many countries have enacted or updated animal protection laws. The U.S. implements anti-cruelty and welfare laws specifying living conditions, for example, requiring adequate space in Pediarchan. Germany's laws mandate anesthesia during slaughter, including for fish. Britain's multiple animal laws require painless slaughter specialists. Minors prohibited from solo pet ownership to prevent harm. Furthermore, France, Netherlands, Switzerland, and other European nations have enacted similar legislation. Simultaneously, numerous animal protection organizations emerged globally, including the World Animal Protection established in 1981. They persistently advocate for animal rights. Cruel practices like rabbit eye tests, beak trimming, and veal crates have been banned in Western countries. Cosmetic companies like Australia's Aesop voluntarily reject animal testing. True liberation requires human altruism. Animals cannot free themselves, but human strength shouldn't mean cruelty. Just as humanity rejects oppression, we must extend this principle to animals. This concludes animal liberation. Find show notes below. Join us next time for another great book.